the little boy fell off a cliff while trying to retrieve a pearl. Unexpectedly he landed right on the unconscious retired emperor, and this fall actually woke the emperor from his coma. The emperor lifted the boy's face for a closer look, and was shocked to discover it was the royal grandson he had searched for endlessly. The boy called him grandpa once, then quickly ran away, unaware that he was actually the current crown prince. He had simply lost his memory and didn't know his identity. A year ago, the young crown prince was ambushed by assassins. A woman fishing by the river happened to find him. She hid him in her fish basket and saved his life. Due to severe injuries, the prince lost all his memories. The woman thought he was an orphan, so she kindly took him in. A year passed in the blink of an eye. The emperor had been deeply worried about the missing prince. He fell into a coma for 3 days. The emperor and his ministers were all anxious, but no one could find the prince. Until today, when the prince fell off the cliff for a pearl, leading to the scene at the beginning. Even in his coma, the emperor had been thinking of his grandson. The moment he saw his face he recognized him. He immediately ordered a full search to bring the prince back, but the prince had already returned to the woman. He suddenly felt dizzy, nosebleed dripping, and collapsed unconscious. After examination, the doctor said the old injury hadn't healed, and the recent fall caused blood clots in the brain. If not treated quickly, he may never wake up again. The fastest and most effective cure was to grind pearl into powder for medicine. The woman immediately took out the pearl she had just found. At that moment her son and his wife, the general's daughter, returned home. The daughter-in-law took one look at the pearl and insisted on taking it for herself. The doctor quickly handed the pearl back to the woman, but her son was overjoyed and reached out to snatch it. A life was on the line. The woman refused to give it, but the daughter-in-law said a message had come from the palace. The long-lost crown prince was returning. If the man offered the pearl, he could win the prince's favor. The son ignored his mother and forcefully grabbed the pearl from her hands. Even though the woman begged on her knees, he still left coldly, unaware. This was the second time he broke her heart. Years ago when he became the top scholar, the general's daughter invited him to marry into her family. For the sake of his future, he cruelly abandoned his mother, choosing to become a live-in son-in-law. Now the woman risked her life to save the prince. She stabbed herself in the chest to draw heart blood. Instantly the skies changed. A purple aura swept from the east. The emperor witnessed this sign, and believed it meant the royal bloodline had reappeared. Following the sign, he arrived at the woman's home. She was barely breathing. The crown prince regained his memory in sorrow, and remembered who he was. Under the care of the imperial doctors, the woman finally woke up, and found herself in the royal palace. Only then did she learn the boy she had saved was the crown prince. Grateful for her kindness, the prince immediately rewarded her with gold, silver and jewels, also gifted her the best shop and residence in the city. The woman was overwhelmed by the favor. She had never asked for anything in return. The prince then invited her to stay in the palace. Thinking of their years together, the woman agreed. The emperor named her the Empress Dowager. Upon learning she had a son in the court, he issued a decree to promote him, so he could serve his mother in the palace. But under the general and his daughter's manipulation, the son despised his mother's lowly background, and insisted on severing ties. He publicly shouted he was a top scholar, and she was just a fisherwoman. How could she help his career? The woman was heartbroken. With tears